from BS and Beer Media. It's Top of the Bleachers with Jason and Tucker.
Handoff, Smith coming right, trying to outrun the coverage, makes a cut, gets it. Oh, he's still going all the way. He's going to score. He's got the ball.
Let's see what the guys are talking about today.
Yo. Welcome in the Top of the Bleachers. It is Wednesday, hump day for some of us. We're getting close to the end of the month, bro. Almost there. Happy Wednesday. How are you?
I'm good. I put in for my time off today.
There you go.
June 24th to July 11th.
Where are you going?
Nowhere that I know of.
You're taking off 2 weeks and ain't going nowhere?
Now, this is going to sound totally crazy, but I'm actually going to get a load of dirt delivered, and I'm going to dig a ditch and work on my yard.
You're right. That sounds crazy.
It does, doesn't it? I'm sure we'll work in something at some point.
You should probably call up Halliburton's dad. He probably knows how to do that.
Well, I can dig a ditch. I know how to dig a ditch.
I could dig a couple scoops and then probably need to take a break and then take a couple scoops.
Oh, it's probably going to kill me because I've decided to do this in June and July. So, I mean.
Yeah, you are a lunatic.
But I had to pick a time of the year when I kind of figured there would be as little rain as possible because I need to get my dirt spread out and all that stuff. So, even though it sucks, that's probably the best time to do it. And I got a pool, so if I get too hot, I go jump in the pool and then come back and start digging again. It'll be all right.
You're crazy. All right. Well, good luck with that.
Trying to improve on my house.
Well, good for you.
So that
I may be out June as well. I'm going. May have to go to Seattle.
Yeah.
Maybe a week or two. Maybe. I don't know yet. More to come on that, but work related. Anyway, man, today I don't have nothing really, but we got some stuff. The NBA playoffs happened last night. We got some pick your fluids questions we're going to talk about. And horns down, suckers, because we got to play Texas this weekend in baseball, and they're freaking good. But
we got to come out of this.
We need some wins.
I won't really call it a slump. It's not really a slump, but we have not.
I'd call it a slump.
We have not performed well in the last couple of series, last 2 or 3 series.
3 in a row, right?
3 series in a row that we've dropped in the SEC.
That's not good.
Now,
oh my gosh, I'm hitting buttons by accident. Look out. I hit the keyboard or something there. Apparently, if you hit the keyboard button, it starts the thing.
I thought for a second, what happened? I thought we'd already went live.
Yeah, we are, dude. We're just playing around here. Don't mind me, okay? Anyway.
So I'm watching the Kelseys. You know, they have their own podcast, Travis and his brother Jason, or Jason and his brother Travis.
Yep.
Is Jason the older one?
I believe so.
Okay. And they do I guess they do a segment where they actually have people call in and, you know, ask questions or whatever. So somebody called in and they had the question that if each one of your fingers, all right, could dispense an endless amount of fluids, all right, what would you, on your right hand or whichever hand dominant, what fluids would you pick for each finger? All right.
For each, you get one fluid per finger.
You get one fluid per finger. You never have to buy that fluid again. Think about that. Like gas is going to be one of mine. Like I'm making gas one of my fluids.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Just
think about that. I was
go
thinking
out and stick your thumb in your tank and fill your vehicle up.
That's pretty wild. Well, you probably want air in one then too. Does that count?
Air? No, air is not a fluid. It's a gas.
Dang.
Why would you want air in one?
I'm thinking about airing my tires. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Just be like, I need a little air. Oh, I need to blow off the back porch. Yeah. Nah, never mind. That's a gas. I know.
yeah, gas.
No, I was thinking food when you said that. Like I was thinking, you know.
Well, I think I would. I think I would
ketchup,
pick
mayonnaise and mustard. You know what I mean? Just let me get that for you, son. Yeah.
Dude, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I was thinking milk. I drink a lot of milk, and milk's expensive. I was thinking maybe one of them be milk, but then I'm like, is it going to come out like room temperature? Like my body is like 98.6 degrees or whatever. So is milk going to come out that temperature? Because you'd have to like fill up a jug and stick it in the fridge for a while or something.
Well, that goes with anything. Then that rules out Mountain Dew.
But you can do Mountain Dew on ice.
Yeah, you'd have to have ice, I guess.
Yeah, you can't do milk on ice. You know anybody that drinks milk on ice?
No.
If you do know somebody that drinks milk on ice, there is a national number you can call 988. That person has mental problems.
I say it might be some psychopathic
Yes
tendencies there.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's see. Gas is a good one. I didn't think of that. That's an excellent one. That's very good.
Oil might be a good one. You could
I'm thinking about cleanup as well too. Is your finger gonna stink all the time? You gonna smell like gas all the time? Dude, what happens when you fart? You know what I mean? Like,
would it matter? Dude, if an endless supply of gas came out of your index finger, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You would never have to go to work again. You could open up your own gas station and just walk around and fill people, and you could cut the price on everybody else. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. I'll fill you up for $40.
30 cents a gallon. I'm gonna fill you up, man. You'd be a trillionaire.
This is true. There'd be a lot of work though. It's your one finger.
For one finger, it would be. You got a whole other hand.
What else? I don't know, man. Some people would probably say ranch. I need one. I'm a pinky finger full of ranch all the time. That'd be.
Dude, I bet you Lacey would pick ranch and ketchup. I bet you she would. I have not posed this question to her, but I bet you she would pick it.
I bet she would too.
Well, first of all, she's going to tell me how stupid of a question this is.
It is pretty crazy question.
Because she's female.
Yeah, they don't understand this stuff. Oh, bro, I introduced my wife to Jerry Clower, bro.
Oh my gosh.
She didn't know who Jerry Clower was.
I was like, I thought he was dead. Did you run into him?
He's been dead for like 20-something, 30 years.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
No, she had never heard any Jerry Clower. I forget which one I told her. I told her the one where where they drive the truck into the church, it's on fire, put the fire out, and they're trying to give him the key to the city. And all of a sudden,
they offer him a cash reward, and they ask him, "Say, what are you gonna do with your cash reward?" He said, "I'm gonna get the brakes fixed on that truck."
She thought that was hilarious. Yeah. I was like, "Well, he's got all kinds of stories. I can't believe you haven't heard of him." So I YouTubed the coon hunting story.
Yeah,
for her to listen to. Yeah, for her to listen to. She thought that was funny too. So now she knows who Jerry Clower is. So then she made me call her dad and tell him the church one.
Surely he's heard of Jerry Clower.
He hadn't either.
What?
I know. I was like, dang, and he's older than my dad. You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's a Southern thing.
I think it is. I mean, he's a Mississippi guy. It's probably a Southern thing.
Did they watch Andy Griffith?
I doubt it. I don't know.
Do you know Andy Griffith actually started off as a stand-up comedian?
I didn't know that.
And I've heard some of the recordings of his stand-up. Pretty funny. I mean, he comes off like a country bumpkin on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a country bumpkin, but he makes it even, more country.
Yeah, he plays that up for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think they watched much TV, to be honest with you. Like, because I think
Have
we've had
you?
conversations about stuff like Star Trek and Star Wars. Uh,
I was talking to
what
a
was the other one?
I was talking to a friend of mine at work, and she is a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how when you game, you can like underneath your gaming tag, you can choose to have your real name or not.
Okay.
Well, she's never felt comfortable with that, so she's always made her name Abby Normal.
Okay.
And you know what that's from, right?
Abby Normal?
Yeah.
No, I don't guess.
No, it's from Young Frankenstein.
Okay. The
Have you
guy, the Australia guy or something?
you
No.
never seen Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder?
Mm-mm.
It's a early Mel Brooks movie. Mel Brooks, same guy that did Spaceballs,
Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights. That Mel Brooks.
What'd you say the name of it was again?
It's called Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I saw one that was a kid that was in Australia or something. Redheaded kid. It was called Young Frankenstein. That's not the same movie?
No,
Okay. Yeah, I think it even had that guy. Remember the guy that played Right Dead Fred or whatever?
Uh-huh.
I think it was that guy. I think.
I think you're thinking of a different movie. You're thinking of Young. What is that? What is the name of that movie? Young Bonsai? No, not Buckaroo Banzai. Young.
All right. Anyway, what about Frankenstein, the 1974 comedy?
It's shot in black and white. Anyway, she was upset because nobody online gets it. Abnormal.
Yeah.
Well, in the Young Frankenstein, Igor goes to get a brain for Dr. Frankenstein's monster. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And he gives him the name of the guy that he wants. Right. And he ends up getting that brain and he drops it and breaks the jar and everything. And there's another brain there. So Igor grabs the other brain and he takes it back to Dr. Frankenstein. And he says, when they wake up the monster, he goes crazy and starts to try to kill all of them. So they get him sedated and everything. And he asks him, so what brain did you bring me? And he says, I think it was Abby Normal. He said, you brought me an abnormal brain. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, she was upset that nobody got that. And I said, it's because you're of a certain age, and most people who game, like she's older than I am. Most people that game are younger.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
they're not gonna get a reference like that.
Yeah, bro.
I tested it out on you to see if you got the reference, and you did not either. So
no, I mean, I thought abnormal when you said that. I thought that's kind of a play on abnormal, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, Abby Normal. Yeah, Abby Normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So this guy, Dr. Frankenstein, goes to. This is a joke, by the way. This is not part of the movie that I was just talking about. Dr. Frankenstein goes to the brain store to get a brain for his monster. And this is kind of political, but I think it's funny. They got a Republican brain there for $50, and they got a Libertarian brain there for $50, and they got a Democratic brain there for $1,000.
Oh.
And the guy's like, dude, why is the Democratic brain $1,000? He says, well, it's never been used.
Oh my gosh. That was very political.
Oh, but it's a joke. You can turn it around. If you're a leftist, you can turn it around and make the Republican the one that's never been used before. So it's totally like how you want to tell the joke.
It depends on how you want to tell it.
Yeah. And who you're telling it to. I mean, if you're telling it at your Hollywood party, then you probably want to switch it up a little bit.
I doubt we've offended anybody. All right. So, I mean, right now we have 0. So, I don't think we've offended anybody.
Anyway.
All right. Oh, I don't know if you know. Do you know who On 3 is and 247
Yes.
Rivals?
Mm-hmm.
On 3 is buying out Rivals, which is really strange because first thing I thought of was old Trey Bitey works for 247, and they said all of 247 will now be high school and state local stuff, and On 3 will be college, Neil, transfer portal, blah blah blah. And he just covers the Razorbacks. That's all he covers. So I don't know how that's going to affect him. I don't know how it's going to affect a bunch of people. I saw one guy left already, resigned, and he's been there quite a while. So I don't know. There's be some changes coming up there, and not to mention On 3, man. Okay, so we have Acuff Jr. and Malik Thomas coming in, right? All year they've been top 10 5-star kids in all the different rating systems. Okay, they came down to the end and they put out their final rankings like a week or so ago, and all the other things, they're like 8, 6, number 10 or 6 or something like that, and they had been like that with On 3 all year too. Well, they put them in like the 20s as compared to everybody else. It's like, what the? So there's the Arkansas discrimination. A lot of people think it's that. They think it's because it's Cal. They're picking on those guys. I don't know what the real deal is, but I mean that's a big swing in your rankings. And then they had some guys in like the top 10, top 20 there that I had never heard of. Some guy from overseas. It's like, who the heck is that? I mean, like, he's not even a popular European player. It's just some dude that out from nowhere. Like, where'd this guy come from? I mean, it's like, anyway, there was only like 2 of those. So there's no way they dropped. And not to mention, while this is all going on, some of the kids that passed them were sitting at home. Meanwhile, they've been invited to all the stuff, the Jordan Brand Classic, the McDonald's All-American, the this and that, all the stuff that the 5-stars go to, they've been invited to. These other kids that didn't get invited, they're 5-stars and they're not. Like, what? It's totally bogus, man. It's like, it's janky as can be. Their rankings are stupid.
Well, the kids have already signed. They've already I take it they've already figured out what they're going to get and all that stuff. So I don't really know what it matters. Like, as far as like once you've signed and everything, your star ranking pretty much goes away and you start all over anyway. I mean, you got to prove yourself in college now. Your star ranking's over. So once they get signed, I don't understand why they don't just come off the board. That guy's not on there anymore. It doesn't matter how many stars he was, Well,
they still rank him as a high school player or whatever. And I think that might be more important in the future because when they start evaluating and trying to put a pay scale on what you're worth, it's going to be what rank you are coming out of high school.
Well,
if you're a top 5 kid, you're in this bracket. If you're in the top 10, you're, whatever it is. I bet you they'll start doing that one day. Maybe not for a while. But.
Well, something like that would end up helping us out.
Well, yeah. I mean, as far as having to pay them, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I just think it'd be more important in the future. I don't know. Maybe not. I could be wrong, but I could see them using that as a way to scale their pay for incoming freshmen. Someone's evaluating them anyway.
I think they ought to just do a cap. They ought to just tell the college, hey, this is how much money you have that you can spend on NIL, whatever it is. You got a cap for basketball, cap for football, cap for softball, whatever. This is your cap. Go over and there's a penalty. I don't know what the penalty is. Some sort of financial penalty, I imagine.
No postseason.
Ooh, dang! No postseason. That's a good.
No
penalty.
postseason. You
That's
cannot go over your budget, or you don't qualify.
Yeah. No.
Otherwise, people would be like, "Oh, screw it! I'll pay double that and take the penalty." It'd have to be severe.
Yeah, I like the no postseason thing. If you get caught, no postseason, you're just going to have guys go back to doing. Listen, we'll give you $7 million on the book, and then we'll slip you another $3 million in the back door somewhere.
I don't know if you heard this or not either. I don't know if I brought this up to you or not. But did you hear about the new law passed in Arkansas too about the kneel? This is going to upset you probably. There's no more income tax on that. They're not going to
on nil money.
Yeah, they're not going to tax them, the kids, the college kids, on the nil money that they get. How do you feel about that? You feel about that? Any type of way? A lot of people are upset.
Well, it actually kind of
hurts your state, really.
Who's paying the NIL? Where does the NIL money come from?
Well,
does it come from the university or does it come from entities involved with the university?
It comes both. I mean, there's the university and then there's a collective of some kind, usually for each school.
Okay, well, Arkansas is a state school. Okay. So state money is given to the university for, we send them money out of our taxes. Okay. Plus they get federal money. So they got it coming in from both sides. Plus they got boosters, donations, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you tax the kids, you're taxing the kids on tax money. See what I'm saying? It's already tax money that is, if it's given by the university. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, hooray for the kids. I wish I didn't have to pay state tax.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But
I don't want to pay state tax. I don't want to pay federal tax. I don't want to pay taxes, period.
I think a lot of people were upset that they were given some money, however much it was, maybe nothing. I don't know, $10 or whatever. I don't know. But it was like they felt like it was hurting the state, I guess, by not.
It's not hurting the state. We give companies
some, get some of that money back.
Yeah, we give companies like Amazon. Amazon's coming and building a new facility in Benton. We give
Heard some bad stuff about them lately.
But Bucky, they're left, but whatever. They're going to create
more than I think.
They're going to create jobs, so that's a good thing. Caterpillar, when they came in, what we do to entice these companies to come here is that we say, hey, we'll give you a tax break for coming to our state. So Caterpillar shows up and they get like $100 million tax break, and people aren't upset about that. If you don't have to pay taxes, you should just be happy for the person that doesn't have to pay taxes. You shouldn't be upset that they're not paying tax. Well, unless they're robbing the system somehow or gaining the system somehow.
Well, I mean,
because none of us want to pay taxes, do we?
No, we don't. We don't like it. Well, I mean, I told Mom this yesterday. I wouldn't mind paying a small tax of something for the betterment of whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To help people that are in need, say, or something. Because since the churches can't really or don't really do it, the government can. But
well, the church
I don't think they should take as much as they do. You know what I mean? And I think, I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say if you made it voluntary, they'd get more money.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
I don't believe that either. But I feel
but
like
here's the reason I don't like taxes. Okay. When I tithe to my church, I tithe 10% to my church. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And say we got a mission trip going on. say we got camps about to start. We have IMB going on, or Lottie Moon, or Dixie Jackson, which helps out, missions across the world, the nation, and the state. You got disaster relief. And then you got like our building fund at the church that we're trying to build up, Okay, when I give my 10%, I can earmark my 10% to go to any one of those things that I just named.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could just give them 10% and let them use it the way that they want to use it. But I am allowed to earmark it. When I pay my taxes, I don't get to earmark where my money goes. My money goes into a big old pot, and then they distribute it how they see fit. And I think we've all seen over the last, few months with the corruption that Doge has uncovered, how they have been spending our pot of money. And that is my main reason that I don't like taxes. If I could earmark my tax and I could say, here's my, 30 something percent that I owe the government, I would like my 30% to go to the military or whatever. If you're a leftist, maybe you wanted to go to Planned Parenthood, whatever. You send my money that way. I don't care what you do with everybody else's money. My money goes this direction. And you can't do that with taxes. And then you get into the fact that we are overtaxed.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And we don't have
it is taxes every time there's a purchase or any kind of transaction. There's a tax. Like, why? You've already taxed me on that at least twice. Why am I?
Well, it's ridiculous. Okay, so let's take bubble gum for example, right?
Yeah.
So a guy opens a factory to make bubble gum. He gets taxed when he opens that plant. Then he buys ingredients to make the bubble gum. Well, he gets taxed on those ingredients. Okay.
And equipment. Yep.
And equipment that he needs to make the bubble gum, and the gas to ship it to the gas station. He gets taxed on the gas that he ships it to the
employees and stuff,
and the truck and the employees. He's getting taxed everywhere he turns around. And then it gets to the store finally as bubble gum. All right. And the guy who sells it at the thing, what's he do to you? He charges you a tax when you buy the bubble gum.
I know. Which is money that I'm buying something with that they just taxed me for. That's all I got left.
Yes.
And if I was to resell that bubble gum somewhere else, they'd tax me again.
Yeah, if you reported it, yes, they would. They would tax
That's ridiculous, bro. I mean, come on.
Dude, they tax you so much that when you die, if you die owing debt, they're going to send you to this little court called probate. And they're going to tax you after you're dead until your debt is paid off. Buddy.
I've heard that. Yeah, death taxes. I've heard of that. That's
messed up, isn't it?
It is. But I mean, I know why. Because so people don't just run out and buy a bunch of stuff and then die. I get that. But I mean, you got to have some common sense too. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
it's crazy. The whole thing's crazy right now.
That's why they say there are only two guarantees in life: death and taxes.
Okay? Taxes are some bull, man.
And
we complain about it too, but then you could go to like Canada where they pay like 50% or something.
France is like 75% or something like that.
How do they stay there?
Because the government provides so much for them, supposedly. But
you better provide everything, brother.
If I'm giving you
that much,
that's what socialism is. I mean, socialism is like, instead of you drawing a paycheck, you would just draw credits, and you would take your credits to the grocery store, and hopefully you have enough credits to feed your family.
People are so.
But I mean, it's already been proven over the last 40, 50, 100 years that the government is not good with money. We're in debt up to our eyeballs. The money that we send in for the rest of our lives, every tax that you spend from here until the day you die, has already been spent. It has.
I think they're recouping some of it now with this tariff stuff.
I don't.
I
We'll
saw they
see.
made more money than they've ever made. I saw something about that a while ago.
I watched a guy the other night talking about tariffs, and he was like, I'm gonna show you why this is working. And he showed a map of like a Google view of China's major port.
Yeah.
And of US's major port. And US's major port, it is flowing in and out fine. I mean, it might be a little slower than it normally is. But then you go over and look at the picture of China, and they have so many freighters that are just parked offshore that are full of stuff that they don't want to ship because the tariff on it is too expensive. And what's happened? China has called Trump and said, "Hey, let's talk."
Yeah, no, I saw there's a. Oh man, they have a new Canadian prime minister or something. Did you see that?
Yeah.
His wife come out and say, "Hey, he's gonna make us great again and poor." Did you hear her say that? It's like, what? I don't think you're supposed to say that, lady. That's your husband over there. Like, what are you doing? Let's see if I can find this tweet. Let me see if I find this and see what she said, because I laughed. I was like, what is she doing? Mark Carney is the new prime minister. Yeah, it says he's to make Canada strong and Canada poor. What the freak? Surely she didn't say that word for word.
I think she did, man. I think she did. I think every once in a while they accidentally let the truth out. Well, you know.
Let me listen to this. Hang on, it's 11 seconds. Hang on. She said that word for word. Here's my husband. The new prime minister is going to make Canada strong and Canada poor. What? Is she supposed to be talking them up or talking them down? What's going on here? Something happened. There's a disconnect. Something's happening. It'd be funny if all of a sudden you see him roll there and knock her down. What? Don't listen to that. Hussy, she don't know what she's talking about. Yeah. That's wild. They are kooky crazy, man.
I don't know. I think it's crazy because I've lived through a lot of presidents. I have lived through a lot of presidents. And with every president, you always have people that didn't like him, people that did like him, people that didn't like him, people that did. But it's like a different kind of hate for Trump. It's like these people they've lost. He's only one man. There's only so much he can do. They're just crazy, man.
It's blind hate too, man. Just because.
Yeah.
If I see these all the time, they confront these leftist people out, and they can't ever come up with an answer or a reason or any kind of thing what they're arguing, or they don't know.
Well, there was one guy was
like, why are you arguing for something you don't even know?
I saw one yesterday that was hilarious. It was this guy, and he's at like a women's rights, thing, and he's holding a sign that says, women's rights are important or something like that. And so the guy comes up to him and he says, so you're out here supporting women's rights? And he said, yeah. He said, can you tell me a right that a man has that a woman doesn't? And the guy just sits there for a second, for like 5 or 10 seconds. And he turns around and hands his sign to the person next to him and says, I think my work here is done. And walks off.
His work is done, huh? Okay. All right, bro. I'm gonna head on out.
We accomplished it.
Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy. They try to act like we're some kind of, or I don't know. Anyway,
It's
uh,
just like there doesn't seem to be, especially in politics, there doesn't seem to be any kind of common ground. It's either they think you're some sort of right wing, Trump loving, uh, gun toting, Bible thumping. Wait, I am all those things.
wait a minute. I started to say, hold on, wait a
I mean,
minute.
there's no
It's the
common
crazy,
ground.
the crazy part there.
And the only thing that really bothers me when I watch these people online and stuff is that, and I blame Stephen A. Smith for this. Just because you scream in my face does not make you correct. Just because you yell it and scream it at the top of your voice and you look like a complete idiot when you do stuff like that, it doesn't make you correct. It's talking louder than the other person is not. That's not how you win an argument.
That's how it works with the gorillas. Why wouldn't it work with us?
That video that you sent me of the guy starting to walk like a gorilla, the 99th guy starting to act like a gorilla, reminded me of that Jerry Clower joke about the bulls.
Where you shot the bull.
No, a guy shows up on the farm. There are 3 bulls on the farm.
Oh yeah.
And they get a new bull, and they hear
Yeah.
they hear a new bull is coming, and they're like the first bull's like, man, we only got so many cows on this property, and I got my 25 singled out. He can't have none of my bulls. And then the second bull's like, well, I've just got like 15 cows, and I can't be giving any of them up. He can't have any of my bulls. The young bull's like, man, I only got 2 heifers. I got 2 heifers that even know that I'm alive. He said, the bull can't have none of mine. And the trailer comes walking in, and when the bull walks off, like the springs of the truck come up, and he's a big old, like 2,000-pound Brahma, and he starts snorting and pawing the ground. And that first bull says, you know what? I could probably give up 10 cows. That probably wouldn't hurt me too bad. And the second bull's like, I could probably give up 5, And the third bull, he starts pawing the ground and slobbering and hoofing and blowing his nose. And them other 2, are you crazy? You see how big this bull is? What are you doing? He says, I just want this old boy to know I'm a bull too.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what reminded me when you sent that. Jerry Clower, man. I can't believe you're.
I know.
See, this show, this proves to me that you did not date her long enough before you married her.
She's older than me too. Like she should know. You know what I mean? Before I do.
Well, she's from Nebraska.
She is a self-proclaimed Yankee.
She might know of something that you don't know of.
I'm sure. All the time.
That was like, something that was a big staple around her hometown or something. And
like, have you heard of these king being, or see what they call twin beings? You heard of these?
What?
Twin beings. You seen these things?
Twin beings.
Yeah, it's a candy.
A candy.
It's a candy bar.
A candy bar. I've never heard of.
Yeah, you heard of this? So
I've
you haven't heard of it?
I
hadn't heard of it either. Yeah, twin being.
Being.
Apparently, they're very popular in Nebraska. Did not know this.
What are they?
I had never seen them anywhere. They're like a. It's like a. Let's see if I can
Does
find
it look like a
description
corn
here.
cob or something?
No. It's like a chocolate thing with pink mash in the middle.
Pink mash?
Hang on, man. You know what mash is, right? Okay, here we go. It's a candy bar. Consists of 2 round, chewy, cherry-flavored nougats, coated with a mixture of chopped peanuts and chocolate. There you go. Anyway, this is her favorite candy bar.
So it's like a pecan roll, but it's cherry flavored.
I guess, sort of. It
'Cause
looks like you remember
what.
Star Crunches?
Yeah, I still get a Star Crunch.
Okay, it looks like a Star Crunch,
So this
but on
cherry.
the inside, it's got cherry nougat stuff. Yeah. They're not very good, if you ask me. She thinks they're the greatest thing ever. Anyway, anytime I go into a gas
you
station,
like
I
the-
see them. I usually get her a couple.
Do you like the during Christmas they come out with the little well, they're probably around all year long, but at Christmas is when I see them. The little the little chocolates that have the cherry in the middle with the cream, and it's like got the
Yeah.
whole cherry in the middle.
I've
They're
had them
called,
before,
like,
yes.
Cordellos or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like those?
I like them okay now. I didn't when I was a kid. My grandma, that was her traditional gift to each family, was a box of chocolate covered cherries.
Yeah.
So we had one of those for every Christmas when I was a kid. I was not a fan. No.
Really?
No. But now they're all right. Okay.
Well, I love them, and I had a customer when I was hauling trash. I had a customer find out that I liked them, and she left me some.
All right.
And it was around Christmas time, and it was kind of middle of Missouri, so it was pretty freaking cold. So I had the heater on like full blast, and I threw them up on the dash, and I forgot about them.
Oh no.
And I had a box of chocolate cherry syrup. I took them and I threw them out in the backyard because we had like 4 foot of snow in the box and everything. I just tossed them out on the back porch, and I left them overnight and then pulled them back in. And I had one giant chocolate covered cherries. It was delicious. It was like a huge candy bar.
Oh my gosh. I thought he was going to talk about the they had Christmas tree stuff and Teresa's peanut butter cups when they do the snowmen or the Easter bunnies or anything like that.
Christmas trees.
Yeah, when they do anything like that, those things they are like a different level than the cups. I don't know what they do.
So you actually think the shape of the peanut butter cup?
I think they make them different or something. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't have the hard ridges around the edge. They're like soft all the way around.
I know, but it doesn't taste. I don't know. It's better.
I
don't know.
The thing I've gotten hooked on lately is late at night, I get a sweet tooth. And so I've been going and buying these 6-packs of Klondike bars.
Oh
And they have Reese's Klondike bars, the little small Klondike bar.
Yeah.
And
I had one of those. That's good.
That'll usually last about 2 nights around here. There's 6 of them in there. So about 2 nights.
I'm kind of on a nerds kick here lately. I had some nerds yesterday, actually. And suckers for some reason. Don't know why. Never been a sucker guy, but I am now.
Dude, okay. So I was in Dollar General the other day, and I was standing in line waiting on the person in front of me. And I don't know if you've ever been in a Dollar General, but none of them are fast. Okay. If there's more than 2 people in line, just relax. You're going to be there a little bit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm standing there. I'm looking at all the end caps, all the stuff that they got up around the cashier to buy.
Yeah.
And they had Starburst suckers. And these suckers are like the size of a blow pop. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's supposed to taste like a Starburst. I'll get one of those. So I got one. Dude, best sucker I've had. Tastes just like a Starburst. And when you like a blow pop, when you get to the middle, there's a Starburst in the middle.
Oh, wow.
So I went back in there. I was going to buy the whole box. I was going to buy the whole freaking box. Right?
Great.
And I went back in there, and there wasn't any left. So so this Sunday, because it's the Dollar General out next to the church, this Sunday I'm going to stop back in there and see if they've replaced it. If they have, I'm going to buy the whole freaking box, man.
Nice. Wow.
And I might quit dipping.
That's what I think that every time I grab a sucker, I'm like, yeah, this will help. And then I'm like, crunch, 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 throw it out and get a dip. It's like, doesn't help at all. Just had candy instead.
Can I ask you a question about dipping? People on the show probably don't want to hear this on the show, but do you like? Is your first dip of the day the best dip? Like I feel like I put my first dip in the morning, and that sucker stays there for 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
And then when I get rid of that one, I feel like every dip I have after that, I'm chasing that first dip.
Yeah.
You know?
No, usually it's a vicious circle if you're not careful. But after I eat,
Yeah.
is like I could sometimes this is crazy. This is crazy. I just think to say this out loud. Sometimes I'll be eating and thinking, where's my can at? So I get me a dip when I get done. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well, back when I smoked like, probably at the peak, I was smoking 2.5 packs a day. I can remember, there'd be like 3 cigarettes left in a pack. And I'm like, I got to get to the store and get another pack before I run out of cigarettes.
I know, right? I know. It's not a good thing.
Anyway. If anybody here is listening, do not take up either one of those habits. They're terrible.
No, stay away from nicotine if you can.
Have you tried this?
Although I've heard lots of stories lately about how it's good for you. Nicotine, not the tobacco part.
Yeah. Well, nicotine comes in potatoes.
Oh, no wonder I like potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes naturally have nicotine in it. Nicotine is not what's bad for you out of your dip. It's all the chemicals and stuff that they put in there with it.
Yeah, I know.
If it was straight
nicotine lately though.
Yeah. If it was straight tobacco without any of that other stuff in there, you probably wouldn't even like it.
Probably not. Matter of fact, I know you wouldn't, because I was in Kentucky one time and we were driving down the road and some big old tobacco plants fell off the truck.
Okay.
And my dad scooped them up.
Yeah.
And we took them home.
Yeah.
Hung them up.
Dried
them out, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Crumbled it up.
Yeah.
Rolled me up a cigarette.
Yeah.
Worst thing I ever tasted, bro. It was so horrible, bro. It was so bad. I think Dad tried to chew some, and it was bad too.
Well,
they do something to it, obviously. You know what I mean? Like,
they do all kinds of stuff. That's why it had, like, if it was just straight tobacco and straight nicotine, it wouldn't have this warning on there. It's all the it's all the formaldehyde and everything else that they put in.
I know, man. It's crazy.
But that's what makes it good.
Oh, hey. You daggum right, you do.
Yeah.
You need to.
You remember the first time you ever dipped?
I do. I got dizzy as shit. Oh, like what in the world is going on?
How old were you?
Oh shoot, I don't know. I was pretty young. I remember my brother. We told the story about my brother lots of times.
Dipping his candy cane in it.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
He was always messing with Dad's can. He was all the time getting in trouble for it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
And he dumped it out. And Dad watched him take his candy cane and then put it in his mouth and start gagging and spitting, and I bet you won't do that again.
Yeah, that was the attitude of parents back then.
Yeah, I bet you won't do that again.
You want to stick that penny in that light socket? Go ahead. Oh, that hurt, didn't
it? Yeah, I know. It worked for about 15 years. I remember he blames us for giving him a dip, his first dip, by the way, just in case you didn't know.
He blames us.
He blames us. Yeah, we gave him one, and we went on a walk. And I remember this.
Steve is like 40 years old. This time he takes responsibility for his own actions.
We were at that Wheat Ridge out there where I lived in high school, and we gave him one, and then we went for a walk, and we didn't even make it back to the house before he started getting sick, and he was getting all dizzy and stumbling around and spit it out.
So I don't know
Anyway.
how old I was, but I was probably about 5th grade. And my brother is about 6 years older than me. And he had a friend named Mike Sharam. And Mike Sharam was like, I looked up to Mike Sharam because he, like, Matt never wanted me to tag along because I was his little brother,
Mm.
And Mike would like let me tag along. So I liked Mike. And they were dipping. And I think it was Copenhagen or something like that, and they both get a dip, and we're like walking through this field, and Sharon asked me if I want one. Yeah, I want one, and I jammed some in my cheek, and of course, I probably went to swallowing right away, We're walking across this field, and this old man had told us to stay out of his field. I don't know how many times, and he yelled at us, and we took off running. And Mike and Matt jumped this like low hanging barbed wire fence. They kind of like hop over it. So I'm going to jump over it, and I catch my toes on it, slam my face into the ground, and swallow that dip. Dude, I've never been so green in my entire life. I was so sick. I thought I was dying. I did. I was at I can remember getting dizzy and thinking, "Oh, this is how I'm going to die."
Oh man, I don't think I actually had dip first. Misty's dad had some Taylor's Pride.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
you know what? Actually, no. Before that, I got some from you. You had some
Levi Garrett.
Levi Garrett. And I said, let me try some of that, And we went mowing yards, I think is what it was, and got some in. And then later on, I tried some Taylor's Pride from Mr. Ferris.
I like chew.
It's sweet.
When
It's
I've decided that as I've gotten older, I like it less and less. Like I liked it more when I was younger, and now as I'm getting older, I have a guy at the post office. He's Chew's Red Man, and he's always like coming over and digging into his back. You want one? No, I'm good. Take your Red Man over
there. How you feel about pipe smoke?
I actually don't know how he's related. Somebody could probably tell you out there, but I had a uncle named Uncle Chester. He was like my great grandfather's brother. Anyway, every once in a while they would come through Mountain Home or Ozark. They'd come through Ozark or Mountain Home. And he's the only man I've ever known that mom let smoke in the house. And he smoked a pipe. And it smelled wonderful. Smelled absolutely wonderful. Tasted like crap. I've smoked pipes before. They taste like crap. But it smelled wonderful.
My wife said several times, I wish you smoked a pipe instead of doing that.
Yeah.
She likes that smell. I'm like, in the house and everything? Like, I don't know if I can do that.
But man, some of that Turkish tobacco and stuff, it smells really good.
Oh, well,
which I don't know.
They got stuff you can poke in put in your pipe and smoke it if you want. Depends what you want to put in there. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Shane had that big old, when back in my 20s, Shane had that big old glass hookah. And he bought a big old package of Turkish tobacco, and this was going to save us money because we both smoked, right? This was going to save us money. So we packed it. The bowl on this thing was like this big, and we packed it full of Turkish tobacco. And then there was this charcoal brick that you'd heat up and you get red, and then you would just drop it in there, and then you could grab your hose and hit it anytime you wanted. Smelt wonderful. Tasted like ass. It was terrible.
I always saw some Turkish tobacco one time and it looked slimy. I was like,
Yeah, it was like wet when
what?
it almost looked like
Yeah.
chaw. It looked
Yeah.
like chaw, like you put in your mouth or whatever.
Yeah. Some I saw was very wet looking. I was like, what the
It did not save us any money. We went and bought a pack of cigarettes pretty quick.
heck? I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we didn't talk about nothing really. Just real quick, the NBA playoffs. I don't even know if you watched any of the scores or anything. Magic got put out.
Yeah, they got drilled.
Giannis about got in a fight with Halliburton's dad.
Yeah.
Let's see what else happened.
Dude, man, I think the Cavs look the best out of the East. I really do. I think the Cavs are going to end up like I would probably pick Boston if they hadn't have dropped a game to Orlando. I think it kind of shows that maybe they're not as good as they were last year, but the Cavs are just on fire right now, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know. That's gonna be a good one. When does that start? Oh, they play the Pacers.
I'll put
Cavs Pacers play.
I'll put up $20 against you right now. I'll take the Cavs. You take the field. $20.
To go to the playoffs or go to the finals. I mean,
win the whole thing.
Win the whole thing.
Win the whole thing. Cavs gonna win the whole thing.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that bet.
All right, get you $20 ready.
I got my $20.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know who Boston's playing yet.
I'm gonna put.
They're waiting on Detroit and New York.
Yeah, they've been having a battle, dude. That looks like old school 80s basketball. They're beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah, no. Did you see some of the stuff where they were talking to each other? Woo! Ow!
Yeah, I tell you, another heated one is that Houston Golden State series is pretty heated. Steven Adams is just a cool dude, man. That guy is just. I aspire to be Steven Adams. That guy is just. He's got to be the biggest, stoutest, just even-tempered guy I've ever seen in my life. Like you could spit in Steven Adams' face, and he's just going to look at you, and it's like, dude, do you ever get mad? Do you ever get angry? Do you ever? I want him to punch Draymond in the face so bad.
Let's see. What else? So we had
and then the Lakers are about to get put out.
Yeah.
Well, who's playing tonight?
So tonight you've got Golden State at Houston and Minnesota at the Lakers. And both of those are elimination games. Golden State could finish off Houston, and Minnesota can finish off the Lakers.
Where's the Golden State game at? Is it in Golden State or is it in Houston?
It's in Houston.
All right, they need to win this ball game. Houston needs to win this ball game.
Yes, they do. Let me see. I really like Amen Thompson. I really like that kid. Reed Shepherd can't even get on the floor, apparently.
No.
He's like four deep on the point guard list.
Jalen's playing really well, though. Jalen, is it White? Jalen Green. I knew it was a color.
Yeah. Oh, Van Fleet. I think I got that Dylan Brooks kid. I like that.
Not a fan of Dylan Brooks. I'm not, but
not a fan.
It seems like, though, if you look back at history, okay, and history has proven to repeat itself. If you look back at history, every championship team's got that dude on their team, got that dude that nobody like Travis was talking the other night, that guy that if he's on your team, you love him, but if he's on somebody else's team, you just absolutely hate his guts. Yep. Bulls had Rodman.
Pistons had Lambeer.
And
Rodman and Sally and everybody else, like 15 dudes we hated.
Yeah, Boston had everybody on the team.
Yeah.
Who did LA have? Who was the guy that got under it? Was it Rambis? Did Rambis get under everybody's skin?
One of them. Cooper kind of played the
bad
tough
guy.
like tough
Yeah.
guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, Cooper's in every poster of Michael Jordan dunking. Michael Cooper's in the background somewhere watching.
that poor guy.
That guy's in more Michael Jordan posters than Michael Jordan.
That's impressive.
That is impressive.
All right, man. Well, let's get out of here. It's already.
Plus,
like
you got
5.
the Hogs taking on Texas. Can I just say, down with the horns? Okay,
Horns
we need
down.
to win this series. We need everybody to come through. We need our pitching to come through big. We need Root to come out and just be on fire. I'd like to see Wood back on the mound at some point during this series. And I think that we need to come out in this first game and just run roll their ass. We just need to come out, run roll them in 7, and be like, yeah, that's right. We're here to play ball.
I just want to win 2 out of 3. That's all I really want. Just win the series. You know what I mean?
I would like a sweep after dropping the last 3 series. I think it would be sweet to sweep the number one team in our conference. I want to sweep. Are we playing in Texas or are we playing at home?
I don't want to lose again. Period. I think we're at home. I think so. I think I heard him say that the other day.
Fayetteville, Arkansas. May 1st. That's tomorrow, right? Wow, we're already into May, man.
Fixing to be, bro. Fixing to be, man.
I got here quick.
Crazy.
One last thing. I was thinking about the beard thing.
Yeah.
And how you're getting frustrated by it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was no shave November. It wasn't no trim November. I mean, you could, I guess, technically, as long as it's still a beard, you could cut it as short as you wanted.
I see.
Just as long as you don't take a razor to it. You can't take a razor to it. So
no razors.
Yeah. So if you want to go like, I don't know.
I want it to grow long. Like, I don't want it to.
Yeah.
I want to pull Duck Dynasty here when we get done, hopefully. But it's getting like there. This here on the side. See how it's like
it's growing
out.
Wide. It's growing wider than longer.
Yeah, it's going out instead of down, and I don't know what to do about that. So
go to a barber shop or Sports Clips and get one of them girls to trim your beard up. They can do that. They've shaped mine before.
I think I had them do that one time, not this one, but a long time ago. Yeah. We'll see. I need a haircut anyway. I just go get the whole deal done.
I just had one.
Especially if I'm going to have an interview anytime soon.
Well,
oh, Lord.
We're on our way to church last Sunday, and, Lacey's sitting over there, and she looks over, and she reaches over and grabs, like, a hair way up here by my ear and yanks on it, and it was a hair attached down here. I was like, ow. She said, I thought it was an ear hair.
Oh, goodness. That doesn't make it any better. That hurts, too.
Like, if it's but it's acceptable if it's an ear hair. I don't want those, but she's just out yanking hairs.
All right, man. Let's get out of here. I will. I don't know. You gonna watch any? I don't know. My wife's so funny. She did this the other day. She texted me earlier today. Hey, can we go out to dinner tonight? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. We can go out. Just got a text a few minutes ago. I don't want to go out tonight. It's like,
you should text her back and say, too bad. You said we're going out tonight. We're going out.
I thought when she sent me the text earlier, in my head, I thought, I bet we don't. Yeah, sure we can. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. But then I was thinking, that probably not happening. But anyway, we'll see. I've been making homemade pizzas here lately, and they've been pretty good.
Well, I don't know what we're doing for dinner tonight. I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I know there was some deer meat set out or some ground chuck. I don't know which one. So something with that.
Oh, that sounds good. All right, man. I will catch you later.
Peace, brother.
Peace.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.